Okay. Hello, class. It's Professor Miles. I want to apologize for my phone actually not having enough memory to record class, our second lecture, but I decided it was important that we actually go over some things that we did talk about and that you had some type of resource. So this is going to serve as like a 5-minute recap of lecture 2. And I will make sure that next time I am adequately prepared to make sure that I can still record everything. All right? So let's just go over some things that we actually talked about. There was a lot of feedback going on. I want you to remember we read the article, The Centennial Global Business Summit, provided by Harvard Business School. And it was titled Managing Human Capital, Global Trends and Challenges. So remember, this class, we were basically talking about human capital and very so much about how we can define human capital, what it is, and what are the experiences and proof of human capital in different industries within higher education. I thought it was important that we look at it from a higher education summit going on at Harvard Business School, which I think this is very important because Harvard did start the higher education community industry right here in the United States. Of course, colleges and universities existed before then, but Harvard has set a new precedent across the world. So here at Drexel, I think it's important that we understand and remember what the questions were. As soon as you walked in, I basically threw you a pop quiz, and the pop quiz and talking about it and explaining it very so much led the entire discussion for class. So, what environment were you born or built in to succeed? I think we actually even said built, right? So what environment were you built to succeed in, right? Which basically comes off of what you were born into. So some of the responses, not all of them, but I think some of the responses were nurturing, a supportive environment, a neglected environment, a creative environment. Remember when I talked about a nurturing environment, it says that you can succeed in an environment where we're pushing you, we're supporting you, we're giving you different type of resources that you can use, we're encouraging you to succeed, and that's what a nurturing environment is. And there were questions about how can one succeed in a neglectful environment. Well, think about it. If you're not giving all that support and resources in a neglecting environment, you're built to succeed in an environment where you rely upon yourself. And now you succeed in better environments as you get older. Remember, the article states from 0 to 3, that experience that we have from age 0 to 3 is what truly prepares us and connects all the different nervous systems within our brain. We have all these different individual silos, and they begin to get connected in our brain the more that we grow. And the foundation in which we grow, 0 to 3, is really what sets the bar, the foundation actually, for how we see the world and what we are going to expect. The article says, the brain uses experience to figure out what kind of environment it must succeed in because humans live in a wide range of environments. Jack P. Shonkoff. Babies are born with most of their brain cells, but little of the circuitry connecting them. So a vast amount of this circuitry is created in the first 5 years of life. That knowing if your circuitry is built when you're not able to actually count on a nurturer or a supporter, then you're going to like to succeed maybe alone. More so than in a nurturing environment where you might thrive to have a mentor who needs to lead you to success. And that's something to think about when you're in college. What were you built to succeed in? And understand you may need to recreate that environment here in some capacity in order for you to continue to succeed. And that's what I want you to be able to do. Remember, this is a reflective class. Now, the second question of the quiz was, what traits do you need to succeed in? What traits? Do you even know what you need to succeed? Creativity is what people say. Discipline, leadership, innovation. I think it's incredibly important that we look at these different things. And I agree, right? I agree. You do need creativity, discipline, leadership, and innovation in order to succeed, but in what capacity? Right now, it's something that we had to think about. How is it that we can use these things? We're in different environments. Even at Drexel University, there are multiple environments. Some environments are going to require us to have a different proportion of creativity, discipline, and innovation in order to succeed. You have to understand what are your best traits and how can you push those forward? And what are your weakest traits? The traits that you need to develop even more. Weakness is not something negative, it's something to be aware of. You can do it all. You can do your best. And you can topple your best. And continue to do better than what your best actually was yesterday. And you can do better than that today. Understand that. But if you don't have a clear conception of who you are, what environments you best succeed in, and what type of traits you actually need to succeed, you might be lost. A lot of you, you know what? Here are some lessons that I want to talk about from class that I think were important. These are some of my thoughts that I had, and I expressed some of them in class, and I didn't express some of them in class. Some of these have been retrospective because, it's been a few days. What is success? What is success to you? A lot of you didn't know. So your answers to these questions were based upon what was written on the paper. The paper never told you what success was. It told you about maybe the process of success. The process may be similar for us, but the goal cannot be the same. Second, class is reflective. Think about yourself, reflective. Where does reflective come from? And this is something it's hard for me to say within a 50-minute seminar to really break down every single thing that's happening. Okay? This is biblical. In the beginning, there was the Word. The Word was, let there be light. Really a sentence. Let there be light. So there's a light. Light is the sun. So, right, in this solar system, the light is that sun. Or in the universe, there's many suns, many lights. Nonetheless, focusing on light, light is something that shines onto the moon. The moon therefore reflects that light onto Earth during the nighttime when we are in the darkness. Consider darkness something of being the unknown, something that requires us to shine bright like the moon does as a reflector of the light, reminding us that the sun has not stopped shining. We have just turned or traveled into the darkness. And it is necessary for us to travel towards lightness in order to be aware of what is around us and what we are surrounded by. And that is how we grow and become more informative or informed to succeed. Light. But you need to reflect when you're in the darkness about the light that you do have. So I'm asking you to be reflective. I understand I am talking about things that you may not have been introduced to. That is darkness. But by reflecting on what we are talking about and reflecting upon the light you do know, which is your life is the knowledge you do have. It is the information you do have. It is the things that you do know. I need you to reflect upon your moon and be a moon when you're in the darkness and see how that takes a part or plays a, you need to think about how that plays a part in your life. I read the article, so I don't want to hear what the article had to say. I read it. You read it. We don't need to regurgitate information. We don't need to be reflective. And then we're going to actually talk about that in the next class. Being banked versus having a problem-posed education. This is a problem-posed education. It's a problem that you all don't recognize, that I don't want to hear what the paper has to say, because I read it. Okay? I want to know what you think, because I don't know what you think unless you tell me. Tell me about your light. I need you to be reflective. I don't need you to regurgitate information and just throw up stuff that I've already thrown at you. If I give you an article, it means I read the article. Trust and believe. All right. Don't please me. Think for yourself. Don't tell me what you think I want to know or what I want to hear. Tell me what you actually think. Then we can make progress, because then I know where you're at in your thinking process. This is about me helping you to develop as an intellect. But I can't do that if you don't let me know where your intellect resides. Let's move. Let's move forward. For that, I need you to be great. I need you to be great. So, there was a student, last statement, who said there was so much in this article, mind you, it's 2 pages, that we didn't get through in my 50-minute seminar. Office hours. I will spend time with you. I had 2 hours, office hours, every Monday, 5 to 7 p.m., dedicated to you, just for you, so we can talk more in depth about things that were occurring. All right? Be great. You already are. Professor Miles.